looking at some things recently. And we've discussed this in modest detail before. I'd like to ask a question. What is perversion? What is sickness of mind? Do we know? Are we interested, or just kind of follow along with the herd on this one? About 1/3 of the population of the United States, I figure, has a criminal record. Between Canada and the United States, we have about 21 million persons in jail. Canada has 1.9% of its population incarcerated at any given time, and the United States has 5.9, basically 6%. See, where I come from, that's perversion. That's the lion being able to hunt healthy young antelope. Either there's something wrong with the people, like God fucked up on people in the United States, or there's something wrong with the laws. Now, the United States has about 5% of the population of the planet Earth, and from what I'm led to understand, it has 50% of the world's lawyers. A good friend of mine, likely deceased now, but if he's still living, he's living in deep misery with another lawyer. In any event, prevaricated, the deep misery prevaricated through the offices of jealousy and nothing else on a dying man. I think that's not only trite and juvenile, but an offense to sanity. But let's get back to our topic at hand, which is perversion. Which that is a classic case. I mean, seeking misery of others through inflicting pain on others is a twisted, sick individual. And this particular individual has numerous degrees, an MBA, lawyer, and writes computer programming software. One would theorize a fairly bright individual, yet one incapable of doing battle with himself to the point where he's ruled by his perversions and his twisted little sicknesses. And he'll inflict misery. He'll get delight. He'll squeeze delight out of inflicting misery any way he can. It's his sexual preference, if you will. Perhaps prevaricated out of necessity. I can't comment on that, nor am I interested in doing so. But perversion, as a distinction, would be the seeking of loss, would it not? The seeking of loss or gain without adding. Pejorative gain, say, is perversion. Now, I ask you, which is more perverse? Spraying napalm on hundreds of children? Or kissing the genitals? Or having sex with a child? Or caressing a child? Or in any way sensually nurturing a child? It seems we have two choices in this life form. One choice is the annihilation of the species through dementia. The dinosaur annihilated himself because just got this one big one and just ate up everything else, including himself. That's what happens when belligerence reigns supreme in sentience, unguided sentience. And man is currently at its most unguided point in its history, and it's nearing extinction. You know, to understand the fraud based in your currencies, you need to understand the mathematics used are multiples of debt. So currencies are printed not based on assets, but on debt they've been able to prevaricate some undisclosed number. They've been able to prevaricate multiple of the gross debt ratio that's prevaricated into existence is the basis for the world's currencies today. That's like me taking out a mortgage on somebody else's mortgage, using somebody else's mortgage as collateral for my mortgage. Now, if the mortgage is 110% financed on the property, or let's say it's 100% financed on the property. So the current U.S. balance of payments, if you will, are 100% of the GDP is debt. The only country higher is Italy. I think it has 130%. There might be one with 200%. But not even Trinidad and Tobago, which is a bumfuck place politically I've ever seen, would dare to run numbers like this. And it's interesting that virtually all of it is, all of the deficit, all of the debt is incurred due to defense spending. And defense spending is very much a Republican priority. I mean, we've got to be spending money on defense. How are we gonna have dinner at the country club every Sunday night if we're not making money? And how we make money is we kill people. We build bombs to destroy others, and we pervert our youth into virtual monsters spoken of in the Bible, mindless killers, beasts, by the millions. And then turning these individuals loose in civilization. Having his first start in life getting hand jobs from a commanding officer for ramming a bayonet through another individual's intestines and then blowing his head off. I mean, you get good PR with it. I don't know where, but this is the democracy salespeople, front row and center, that they're trying to delude the rest of the world into thinking it's a good idea to bite into. You see, an 8-year-old child could do a better job of selling something. It's good to have an enemy. It keeps the focus off me, right? Bolaks, wops, DPs were good for a while, but then they start taking over, and so we have to find somebody else. So ragheads, good people to hate, right? I mean, who knows ragheads? They don't even vote here hardly at all. And plus they got lots of oil back home, so the ragheads are starting to take we're starting to take a very keen interest in ragheads. They got lots of stuff we want. Now, what would you invite that home to meet Mother? Would you? Just what if she were around and looking at this? This planet is perverted beyond its own kin to get it to grip. It's sick beyond its own ability to cognate. And going about the process in as big a hurry as it can possibly get. You want to talk about perversion? Take a good look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. How many secrets have I got? If the answer is more than 0, you have perversion running in your blood. If you have more than 3, you'll likely die from it. Or blockages caused through its persistence in your being. You worship your perversions and your dementia like it's holy grail. It's wake up time. It really is. There is a hard rain that's already started to fall. And look out. It ain't gonna miss nobody. Not one. Not a single soul left out. So, you want to talk about perversion? Let's talk about perversion. Seeking loss. Is there any other definition of perversion other than that? If there is, I don't know it, and I've thought a lot about this topic. Tell you what, you give it some thought. and get back to me.